All right, cool. So here's a way to kind of look at the fretboard in a more approachable way. So, as we know, like we got our basic chords, our E, A, D, A minor, E minor, all that stuff, right? So if we're trying to do a lead lick or just in general, our goal is to try not to look at the fretboard. So at first it's, okay, of course, when we're learning our chords or like our little lines, like our little scales and stuff. But if you're having to go from like an A minor up to here, kind of like in the Ain't No Sunshine, and then go back up to this, right? It can be a little scary, at first to try to, get that. And the reason is because we're actually looking at our fretboard, and because when we look at the fretboard, we worry about our fingers. Are they actually going to hit the right chord? Are they going to hit the right notes? Are they going to hit the right fret? And stuff like that. Well, if you kind of look at it, the basic chords that we already know, we have it actually memorized. So when you actually look at the fretboard, it actually tricks your brain to think that, oh, am I gonna, like, it second guesses itself. Like, okay, am I gonna hit it correctly? Am I gonna, do X, Y, and Z, right? So let's say, you got your A minor pentatonic. Right? And if you have to go to this, it can be a little scary. So what I recommend is just to try to, just take your A minor chord, look at it first time, got those two measures. Now just try doing it without looking. And just repeat that a couple times. And then, because there you already have the muscle memory, and you should be a little more relaxed. So now to get up to this point, the whole lead line, something like that, if you were to do that. And then just run that a couple times. Now try doing it without looking. Or just take that A minor chord. And sometimes you'll find out that you're either a half step above or behind, so you just kind of can correct yourself. See, I was a half step above. Same thing. And then just maybe just take, so there we go. And then, so your hand is actually going to start getting to feel what the distance is, and it's going to be able to glide there a lot quicker than just looking, because you already feel a little bit of anxiety just looking at your fretboard alone. So another thing to do, another tip is to do what is a half step and a whole step thing. So if we take the second string here, B string, and we just do a half step, just repeat that, and then go. Then go back. So that way you get the difference of hearing what a half step is and a full step. So now if you do this on a different string, see the interval sounds the same, or the spacing. Now if I did, doesn't matter what note you're on. And then also the fret markers actually help. You know, this one has, you know, fret marker on 1, but usually it's 3, 5, 7, 9, and then 12. Well, another thing too is if you already know E, A, D, G, B, E, so you already know between E and F and B and C. If you want to look for an F, got our open E, there's an F. If you want to find your C, there's your B, there's your C. And then if you know, you're just counting up the alphabet, A, the half step is usually a spicy note, what I like to call them. There's our B there. There's our C. And then here, if you're climbing up a letter, there's D, and then here's E, because you're climbing up another letter. There's your F again. So that's another way to look at it too. And you can also, when, you know, going on your single string scales. So you can look that, okay, this is a C, because it's all natural notes, C major. Okay, going up a whole step, that's what it sounds like instead of going. And then we got another whole step. There's that half step. And then a whole step. Then another whole step. There's our B. And then you can do this, you know, wherever on the fretboard. If you wanted to build an G major scale, right? So you got our E, F, and you just want to get to a natural G, there you go. So then you just take the same formula of a major scale. There's A, then we gotta go another whole step. There's that B, well there's another spicy note. There's our C, so we got G, A, B, C, and then we got another whole step, D, then E, but in the major scale we got another whole step, so it's not this F, it's, there's the spicy note, F sharp. You know, and you can go on from there. You could do F major scale on the D string. So D, D sharp, E. You can try it that way if you want. Okay, there's that half step. D, D sharp, E. Okay, E and F. There's your F. F, G, A. There's that B flat. and so on and so forth. So another thing too is if you are working on note location, good thing to do, like for example, we got all of our C's, right? So good thing to do is you can take a backing track, just a drone backing track. So this one is in the, just a C. All it is just the note C. Right? So we know our first C, and you can hum it too if you want. I don't have the greatest voice. Right? So we got A, 3, 10, 5, 1, 8, 8, 3, 10, 5, 1, 8, right? So maybe take that in between two strings. So just do that E and the A string. And then go to your next two strings. Go to the A and the D. Now let's go to the G and B. Now let's go to the B and the E. And then try it over. And then you could also run your major pentatonic scale, which is just taking this A minor pentatonic, but you would start from the note C instead. So you hear that it actually works. Right? Now if I hit, let's say, a bum note. You can run blues. You know, so on and so forth. And then you could also just take your octave shapes too, right? Right? So if you already know that this is a C here, think of our octave shapes. String 6 and 4, first set of octave shapes. So you got that little diagonal line. C and C. Okay, we take that same shape though, but we move down to strings 5 and 3. This string, here's your C. So you got your 8, 10, 3 and 5. Okay, now you already know that this is another C here, the 10th fret, because we already played it. Okay, now we make that extra because of the tuning. We stretch a little bit longer. We skip the 11th and 12th fret. Okay, there we go. Right? Okay, so now we already know that on the third string there's our C, right? Okay, now we want to find another C. There you go. Using this same shape, and then you can play them all together. And then you could good enough. Okay, so, and then you could also do, so you can do it all together. So that's another way that you could look at your notes too. So like if you were to do A, right? So this is a G, right? So you just want to go up the alphabet and repeat. Here's our A. Okay, we already know the 12th fret, open A. So we got 5, 12. Okay, think of our octave shape. There you go. You should already know that's the 4th string is an A. So we got, right? So now we're on the G string here. There we go. There's our A. But if we know our low E and our high E are the same, think of this shape. Sorry, I'm slightly out of tune there. So there you go. There's our A. So you can look at it that way. So then you can go, or you can hit it there. There you go. And then you could do that with any note. You can go F. Okay? There you go. You know that this is E. There's our F. So you already know that D string, there's an F. Plug in that. So now if you already know our G string is an F, there you go. Do that C major thing. And so on and so forth, and you just keep going around the cycle. And then you could do that, you know, just doing a single string scale. So like we got this C, right? I could just run my major scale. So then you're running it like that. Try running it without. See, I keep messing up. So I'm just gonna look at it again really quick. So going backwards is tough. Just like that. And then, if you really want to go crazy about it, you work on your diatonic chords. C major. Just a regular C major. And then our D minor chord. So you got first finger on the high E, G string on the 2nd fret, there, on our 2nd string, 3rd fret, so there's our D minor, right? Diatonic chords are C major, D minor, E minor, so taking the same shape, and then F, then G, and then A minor. Then you got our wonderful B diminished, and then you're back to C. You could also do it in triads, string 3-2, with string set 3-2-1, and you want to try to do it within the most convenient way possible, or within the minimal frets. So we got our root position here, high E 3rd fret, the G and B string on the 5th fret. So that's our C major. Then we go to our D minor chord, E minor chord. Then you could play your F major up here if you wanted to, or else you can go F major, just taking the D major shape, and play your F there, and then you can play your G here, and then you can play an A minor right here, just barring strings 3-2-1 on the 5th fret, and then we go to our B diminished, and then back to C. So you can do it this way. Oh, sorry. Oh, man. There we go. Or you can do it. So give that a shot.